What's the word, YouTube? We are back with another video. We have the best Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan stories ever told. Let's get right to it.
NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird,
Yeah, he did.
said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid."
Haha, would you rather look a little slow on the court, like not fast, or would you rather look embarrassed? I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. But what I will say to that, I ain't gonna pause too much in this video, it's a long video. James Worthy was actually Michael Jordan's teammate in college. So you feel what I'm saying? If you're teammates with somebody, you don't always want to give them that respect. You feel like you are probably better than them, but you got respect for the older cats. Larry Bird was one of the older cats. They looked up to him. James Worthy wasn't that. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can understand him saying that with Michael Jordan.
I'm not here to convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think.
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird, and I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting
Curry
in a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive
You had to watch
the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what? Oh, he's going to get an offensive rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye,
If you know that, you know
Michael
ball.
Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half, and they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
He couldn't.
Here's a 1986 magazine.
I could agree with that.
And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best.
Larry
because
B.
in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back.
Stop playing with Larry Bird, man.
And in the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By game 2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try.
He tried it.
Because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
Crazy.
Points, and
didn't they lose?
All-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after.
Yeah.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael.
But Larry Bird
get respect.
The most important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock.
That win, man.
Bird, pick and roll Parrott. Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0
That's like the
lead
Warriors back
over
in the day,
Chicago
bro.
in their best of 5.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay?
That's true. Even though he dropped 63,
that's true.
we stepped all in his ass, did we not?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Larry Bird went on to win his third championship that year. And the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs,
What'd he do?
it happened again.
Side. Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand. Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games. Bird's
I bet Jordan don't care now, though.
14 in the 4th quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the 4th quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105.
Took them boys straight up out, sent them boys packing, sent them home. No answer. Nothing they can do about it.
Experience
Too much.
for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan.
Swept him again?
So if Michael Jordan is
man.
the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird? Now, to be fair, at that point, Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet.
Fact.
When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense.
I bet it was.
And later in the video, I'll let you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done.
What do you mean by
Bird
that?
Swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs. That very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game,
Impressive.
the steals title, the MVP, the defensive player of the year, the All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest.
Oh my God.
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year, and this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle. Bird wins.
Tough battle.
Game 2, MJ has a historic 50-point game.
Go crazy, MJ. Go crazy.
Game 3,
what happened?
Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar, because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30 points. Game 4. MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds, but most importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his statistically best season ever.
So Jordan just wasn't beaten.
Didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs. Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
And the rest of the 80s. In the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We 88. We beat them 4-1. I'm gonna say that again. 4-1. They won one game.
Respond, Stephen A.
He never beat Larry Bird. He never beat
I don't care what you guys say.
And Kareem. He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bert, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor
A non-factor. Is this your GOAT?
He's hating. I
But
can't lie.
after
That
Isaiah
man is
Thomas
hating.
swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game.
Whoa.
But what many don't include in that story is that Larry Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals.
5 seasons?
Starting the following year, Larry Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games. But sadly, it only got worse. Because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back and was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan.
What you mean?
Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan.
What you mean?
And I think I know why.
Why?
When Michael Jordan
Let me know
was
why.
in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics.
I think I heard about
During
this.
warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up.
I ain't hear this.
But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court. And I guess you could say Michael Jordan took that personally.
Yo, BLM, bro. BLM. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
It became personal.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players.
Wow.
Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally.
He had to.
Because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game.
What happened?
The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird has KO'd the read. Jordan!
Little pass.
Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk.
Little dunk. Okay,
Bird
hold on.
against Pippen. Bird working on
Uh-oh. Fader
Hits
mad.
the fadeaway.
Fader madness.
With 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their 2 best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird.
On Larry
because
Bird?
Everyone knows who the ball is going to. And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside
Bird
of
low,
10 seconds.
Bird low.
You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper. Good. 3.6 seconds left. Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a
Man,
2-point lead.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all should have doubled off the rip. What did y'all think was gonna happen? Y'all give Larry Bird the shot at the shot clock? Shot clock cheese. Come on, y'all know about this. I know about Larry Bird, and I wasn't watching a single game from back then. Larry Bird got clutch shooter on Hall of Fame. Y'all tweaking.
Everybody in this building had to know
Tripping.
it was going on. Michael came over to help out. Celtics lead with 3.6
You know it was
seconds.
going to him, and he just banged y'all.
A game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
That's crazy,
2 of
gang.
the best defenders of all time.
2 of the best players of all
Somehow,
time.
the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line.
Come on, bro.
But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player
Who?
Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird."
Woo!
As Larry Bird was on his last
That's a
legs
knee scratcher.
and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Don't tell me it happened again, bro. Don't tell me. Little bucket.
Switch by Jordan and they're 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team. Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird.
Too strong. Tell them little boys they too little.
This battle between two
Jordan is so
all-time
nasty.
greats
He's Jordan shifty,
came
bro.
down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with
Overtime?
0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Oh.
Pippen. Now will look to throw in.
0.4?
And here it is, Jordan with the flame. Yes! But it's waved off. Will not count. Mike Mathis said no. Did not.
Wait, what?
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner,
0.4 seconds though, come on now.
Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan.
It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned.
Bucket. Oh my God, it's so silky.
They're really concerned about
It's so silky.
They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until the game.
Overtime number 2. Bird.
Silky. Super silky.
Larry Bird heating it out to go in the second overtime. Bird with the fake through the foul and hits.
And one. And one.
45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
Imagine watching this live, bro. Oh my
Crowd
God.
couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, "This guy's too much."
And the chant of Larry.
Think about it. You watching one of the greats for the last time. One of the last times. That's just so amazing. I wouldn't want it no other way. This is exactly how I expected Larry Bird's last matchup with Michael Jordan to go. Straight bucket, super silky, amazing. This is that's what I want to see.
The Chicago Bulls won 35 to 132 in a wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that
Yeah, they
year,
did.
Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals.
Yeah, he wasn't
and
playing.
his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "There's a new sheriff in town."
It's a new sheriff in
And
town,
we
'cause
both
he just
hit each
won.
other like, well, he's not lying.
Just
Larry
won that
Bird
chip.
retired after that next season.
I feel
but
him.
Not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time.
Whoa.
Except this time, it would be on the same team.
Yeah.
in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled.
The reason why I wouldn't say it was the greatest team ever assembled, we know it was a couple players that was injured. Now, if you go to a redeem team with my boy Bron, Kobe, Kobe, I think they been a little better. But who knows? Hey, teach his own. Teach his own.
1992 Dream Team.
And rebounded by Jordan.
Perez may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind
Woo!
save. Here's Bird.
Hey, Jordan with the
He
little.
just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. Brought a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics.
Hey, at least he knows.
And I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass. Did we not? I rest my case.
Rest the case, my boy. Okay. I feel it. Hey, I feel it, man. This is a good video. You know, it kind of started off slow. The man's voice was a little monotone. But when I got to see the footage and I got to see Larry Bird giving that boy buckets, man, I understood what he was talking about. Michael Jordan didn't have that many good games against Larry Bird. So if Larry Bird, you know, if they saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time and he didn't have that much success against Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird? I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't say Larry Bird is the GOAT just because his resume doesn't talk. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't say Larry Bird's the GOAT, but that's just because his resume doesn't say GOAT. You know, it doesn't scream GOAT status. Michael Jordan has a better resume, but what I will say is he is definitely one of the greatest players of all time, and if he had a longer career, he might just be able to say he is the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie, Larry Bird is a legend, Larry Legend, and this time we'll never forget him. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the conversation or the debates. Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan. Who do you think is better and who do you think is the GOAT? Y'all let me know down below. I'll be in the comments with y'all. That's the end of this reaction though, man. We have other reactions on this channel. We have more reactions to come in the future. If you guys could like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, that'd be good for me. And we out.